We are really delighted to have as our guest today Loretta Herrington, who's on the line with us from her residence in Fairfax, Virginia, in the Washington, D.C. area, to talk about this remarkable book that she has written called, again, Piece of Soul Through the Heart, A Soul's Journey. It's an amazing story, and let's find out more about it and how all this came about. Our guest, Loretta Herrington. Loretta, good afternoon. How are you today? Nice to have you with us.
Well, I'm well, Doug. Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how all of this began with you. First off, tell us a little bit about yourself. You obviously you live in the Washington area. Do you work? Are you a housewife? What's your story at the moment?
Well, I work for a nonprofit called the World Institute on Disability, and this is work that I continued when I left the George Bush 43 administration, stayed with this work, and the work of my organization is to promote the employment of people with disabilities. So we look at policies and regulations and help open doors for people who want to work.
Okay. Had you, at any point in your life up to now or recently, ever thought you would write a book?
Never did I think I'd write a book.
I'm sure. Most people don't.
No.
But it's remarkable when you get something in your system that tells you I have to do this. Let's find out a little bit about your story. How did this all begin for you? Take me through the path.
Sure. It began in 2009. I left government, exhausted from 8 years of working for a president, which is a privilege no matter who's in the White House. And my dad was ill. He was dying. And so I commuted from Fairfax to the Philadelphia area for several weeks in 2009. Came to a point where we realized that I needed to have some assistance. And so we contacted the hospice, and they put us in touch with an agency, and one thing led to another. And we began interviewing some caregivers. And I just didn't want a caregiver. I wanted somebody who truly, truly understood me and my family. So we were introduced to Zura Salukvadze, who had done this work, an immigrant from the country of Georgia. And I recall when he was walking up the steps to my father's house, I had a cold feeling run through me. I recognized this young man and began to try to figure out, where did I know this person from? I'm from Philadelphia, but this individual's from another country. So we proceeded on, talked, felt very comfortable with him, and he worked side by side with me caring for my dad, and he was with me when my dad's soul passed to the next life. So we formed a bond through this experience. And we've stayed in touch. We've gone through a lot together, and a lot of it has been discovering why the two of us were meant to meet and to stay together.